Hey, good morning, everybody. This is Bob Miller with another edition of the Practice Gratitude Success Show, and I want to thank everybody who's here today. I'm so grateful. I'm grateful for Clive Jeffrey being here again today. He was here last week, and today he's going to come back and he's going to share some cool strategies. I'm grateful for everybody who's here to come and visit us. Len Mooney. I'm grateful for Chris Schaus. Craig Hasser, thanks for coming, and other people will be popping in here in just a minute. So we were just having a little discussion about the football game, the Super Bowl game, and how he's a fan of rugby. You know, and I don't know if you guys are familiar with it with the hot collar. If you're not, go to YouTube and check that out. It's really fun. But anyways, I don't want to take a real lot of time because Clive's got some really cool things to share today. So let's get right into it. So Clive, I know you're going to share some really awesome Facebook strategies, and so thank you so much again for coming here today. Appreciate that.
No problem at all. Thank you so much again for having me, Bob. I'm really flattered and honored to be here, and happy to share, some information.
So what's the strategy you're going to do?
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, basically, what I'm going to share is what I've been working on, sort of probably from the beginning of the year. Well, I've been for a while, probably last year as well, but I've been really concentrating on since the beginning of this year and been getting some good results. I've had, and it's like anything, if you do it consistently, you're going to see the results. And it takes a little while to get some momentum going, and but you certainly, if you stick with it and have the belief that it's going to work, because it's one of those things that, when you first hear it, it sounds so simplistic, and I think that's the big issue people have. They write it off before they even try it. Really? So what I'm going to do, and at the end of the day, it works on the premise that all business is done amongst people. Now, people don't buy from companies; they buy from individuals. And so in order to be able to do that, you've got to build relationships with them. And this is what this strategy is. It was what really fits well with Facebook, and you can use it across any social media really, because it works around being social and growing your warm market. Because the big problem that we have as marketers is, and I'm assuming most of the audience is in that sort of home business arena, and is running out of a warm market to talk to. And that's what was a thing for me, because I moved over to the States and I didn't have a warm market over here. I didn't know anyone, so I had to find ways to go out and meet people. And with the internet and social media, it's just made it so much easier. But at the end of the day, all we are doing is using social media to meet people, and it's not as an alternative to, it's an addition to, instead of going out knocking on doors, we're basically meeting them over Facebook. So what I'm going to do is basically I'll screen share here if I can, if it's okay with you, and take it through literally what I do on a daily basis, and I'll sort of talk about it as I'm going through the steps. So if you just bear with me now, I'm going to go through and share my screen. And if you just let me know that it has actually shared.
Yep, we're on your. Yep, we're there.
You can see my Facebook page.
Yep.
Cool. So if anyone has any questions, if you can just let me know too, Bob, because obviously I can't see the screen here. So as I say, what we're going to do is we're going to look to meet people, and we want to meet people in our niche. So regardless of what you're doing, the same principles apply. You want to grow your warm market. So if you're a real estate agent, if you're an insurance agent, if you no matter what line of business you're in, you want to find places where the people you want to talk to hang out. And one of the easiest ways to do that is to go ahead and find like a well-known figure in the niche. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and look for this guy, Joe Stewart. He's a young network marketer. He's really he's a great guy, and he's really successful, and he has built his business the same way, and that's just by growing relationships. So what we do is we go over to his page, and I just scroll down and I look for threads that have good interaction, and normally all of his do. And this one here, he's just done it. No, it was about an hour ago, and he's already had 65 people like it. It said shares, 29 comments. So the first thing I do is go down and just look at all the comments. And I hit my own one there. So all you look at the comments and just literally you want to just join in the conversation as if you would in any natural setting, and you want to say things that you would only say if you were talking to these people face to face. You don't want to go in there and be weird. So like this one here, I used to live on at Jensen Beach when I was younger, and I just got to say I would love to live at the beach, just something. So all I've done is a nice simple comment like that, and you just work your way down. You don't want to do it on everyone because that would be weird. You wouldn't go walk into a room at a party, for example, and just go from person to person to person and just try and jump into their conversations. But every night, a couple of different things you can go down if it's relevant to you. And when you initially think about it, you think, well, this is. How can this help? But now that person is going to say, well, who's this guy? And chances are she's going to come and look on my page. And all we're doing here is is activating people to us. We want to become known to as many people in our niche as possible and as quickly as possible. So that's all we do here, simply by liking and commenting on their stuff, they are going to, as I say, become aware of us and come and check us out. So another thing that I should really do is, if I haven't already, I'll just look. If I hover over her and see I'm already following her, but that's what we want to do. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go over to everyone that's liked the page, and if I just click on that with my mouse, and it's going to bring up everyone that else has liked on the page. And if I go down here, you can see all these people that I'm friends with, and then it starts going to the ones that I'm not, where it says add friend, from this guy. All these other ones I'm not friends with, but I've got friends in common. So if I hover over their name, you can see that I haven't followed him. So what I'll do is I'll follow him, and then I'll right click on his name and I'll open it in a new link, and I'll just go over to his page. And all I'm doing here is he's going to get a notification because I followed him, and I'm just going to comment on a couple of his posts. And again, just something that I don't want to mention business at all. That's the trick here, is you just being social. You don't want to mention business at all, and it sounds counterproductive. Well, people say, well, I want to market my MLM, or I want to market my real estate business or my insurance business. But at the end of the day, all we're doing is growing our warm market, and that we just got to resist the urge to talk about business. We want them to come to us and say, what do you do? And then then you can. That opens the door. They've asked for it, and this is why this is so successful. So we just slowly, I'm just going to put something like "get it," just he's in the gym working out. I'm just going to just a comment like that, and that's his profile picture. And this is Eric Thomas. I love Eric Thomas, so I'm just going to put that there. I love ET. So simple as that. Then I'll move on to the next guy. So because I right click, all I do is I can delete that and go back and go on to the next one. And let's see here, this Daryl Green. Again, I don't follow him. So what I'll do is I click on follow, right click his name and open it in a new tab, and we'll go over here and do the same thing. And those are obviously his kids. So I might just put something like hashtag family, just something that just as natural and as normal as you possibly can, and again, not I'm just going to put the Lady Gaga nailed it, so I'm just going to put
she did too.
Yeah. So that's as simple as that. That's all we're going to do, and we just go through that. And you want to have a goal to do a minimum of 10 people a day, and just as simple as that. And you're going to find if you do that, you might, for a week or two, you won't have the people you might not hear from them, but that's no problem. Don't worry about that. It's the process that you want to get involved in here, and we're going to just keep doing that every day. So just have that as part of your daily mode of operation. And you can see that if I wasn't talking, I could get through meet 10 people like that, or activate 10 people to me, because everyone I follow, as I say, they're going to get a notification that I followed them, and then they're going to start showing up in my feed. And if I made a couple of comments, then they're going to either like my comment, but they're going to find it hard to resist coming over to my page and checking me out. And quite often I will find that by doing this, they're going to send me a friend request, and then so that's the next step I do, is I look for my friend requests. So we'll go, and I've got hundreds of, like literally probably close to 1,000 friend requests that I haven't got to yet. But what I do is I'm looking for these. These are all the people that I did this. They went through this process yesterday, and because I recognize all their names. They're all the people that I've done. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure that they haven't messaged me, and none of them have here. But there's another folder here. If you see the recent messages, then you've got message requests. And if you're not friends with them, chances are their message would have fallen in this folder. So if we go over there and we see filtered requests, and here, if they did, this is where you get all the spam ones like hello dear, all those kind of ones. But the chances are that if they had messaged me, they would have come into this folder because we weren't friends. But in this case, they obviously haven't messaged me. So that leads me on to the next step. So what I do then, and I'll give you this little script I use. Where are we? My scripts. So all it says here, I don't know if you can, I'll just hang on, get off there. My little script I did. If it just says, what's going on? Thank you for your friend request. It's great to meet with you. As a way to connect further, I do a marketing newsletter which has all my contact details, where I share tips and ideas on how to generate leads and sales online. If this appeals to you, I'd love to shoot it over to you. So all I do then is I go back to everyone that's friend requested me, and I just I hover over their name, or just click on their name. And I should have actually right-clicked, so I didn't have to get a new one. And then I don't accept their friend request unless they respond to this message, because I've righted my limit of friends. So I don't want to just request people that aren't going to interact with me. So so I just go, hey, and then I paste in my message. So again, if you can see that there, if anyone wants to copy it down, it's just, what's going on? Thank you for your friend request. It's great to connect with you. As a way to connect further, I do a marketing newsletter which has all my contact details, where I share tips and ideas on how to generate leads and sales online. If this appeals, I'd love to shoot it over to you. So then I just send that, and I just work my way through the people that have sent me friend requests each day. And chances are they will either, if it does interest them, they're going to message me back and say, yeah, that sounds great, send it over to me. And then I'll say, okay, what's the best email to send it to? And boom, I've got the email, and I've just set up a capture page, and that puts them on my list, my email list, and that's my newsletter where I share all my stuff. So it's just a perfect way to generate leads. And if they don't respond to me, then hey, I've got nothing lost, and I don't accept their friend request because they obviously weren't going to interact with me anyway. So exactly. So it's just a nice, simple way, and it's it's easy. There's no rejection if people are worried about rejection. It's just a nice, simple way, and they have the choice too. They're not threatened, and so we just literally again work your way through that. So again, you can see that takes another few minutes, and you'll be surprised. Now I get probably a good 5 leads a day just by doing that. From my 10 messages I send out, I'm going to get 5 people that are going to come back and send me a friend request. Now, so it's a really simple way of doing it. And then there's another way, which I'll show you. This is, I'm sure you all are in the same boat. You get a bunch of friend requests or spam messages from other network marketers, and if you get those kind of spam messages, a lot of people get irritated. I don't. I've got this message here. I don't know if you can see this one. It says, I love your enthusiasm for building your business. I actually created a newsletter for awesome marketers like you, where I share tips on how to get more customers and for your business. Do this, shoot me your email and I'll add you to it. So then I just reply to them every spam message with that. And then a lot of the time they go, oh, thank you so much. Here's my email. And again, I get probably another 5 leads a day by doing that. So treat all those, because those people, the good thing, I look at spam messages and I think, well, that's awesome, because these are action takers. They just don't know any better. So rather than condemning them, and you offer them that source of help. So now I might actually, I'll paste those messages when I come back into the chat, so people that want them can copy them. So that's another form. So really, if you're getting those spam messages, it's a good thing. Don't think it's not. Now, another thing I do is, if I want to look for other people that are interested, just to connect with further people, I go and I'll put in the search bar here. It's a very powerful tool, the search bar. So you can literally search for people that are interested in what you're interested in, and also in your business. So what I can do, I say people who like network marketing pro, and parrots. So and we'll see what comes up, and then there's a whole bunch. Let's have here. Then we'll look at where we can go here. Look for people, and it's saying it couldn't find anything. So let's.
I know somebody.
Yeah. So you can see, you can just go ahead and put literally anything. I think there's one here. There's a group called Lovers Parrots. Oh, why isn't it? Let's take that space out of there and see if it's going to give me a better. Normally, I find, I'm not sure why it's not working today, because I normally use this. Here we go. So there's a bunch of people here that I can. There's a few of them, but the chat, they like. We just go through, and it's another good way to meet them. But you can, again, you can type whatever. Let's say people who like. Let's just try this. Over 50 who like Eric Worre. So thanks. And there's given me a few people, we recognize them, and there's other friends down there. So it's just a way of searching for people. Again, now we can come to a post like this, and there's 1,600 likes. So that's going to be a good one. If we went over to his page and saw this actual post, we'll just click on the post. Yeah, so look at that. It's at 83,400 others people like that. So do you think you could find a few people in amongst that you could start to talk to? So that's massive. So you can literally go through, and then you just go through that same process I was showing you before, where you literally just go ahead and hover over and follow them, and then go over to the page and like and comment on a few things, and you'll be able to just start meeting those people, and getting to know them, and build your relationships with them. So it's there's plenty of people out there, and again, this looks so simple that most people won't do it, or they won't do it often enough to get the actual result. So it really is, if you stick with it and just follow the formula, and if you did it, I guarantee, give yourself, say, 2 weeks. If you did this, just say 5 days a week for 2 weeks, and spent 10, 15 minutes a day doing that, you'll have an inbox full of people wanting to talk to you. And as I say, the idea is to not talk about business. You want them to talk about, you want them to ask you, oh, well, what do you do? And that gives you the opening to to start talking about, and a good line to say when they say, what do you do? Then I just normally say something like, oh, and again, I'll put that script in there. It's like, when where do I begin? what do you want to know? So you just make out, get them to ask again, so you can sort of see where they're coming from, and it's a nice, simple way to get people to interact with you. But that's basically what I do. It's as simple as that. And as I say, I'm getting 5-10 leads a day just by following that process. So what I'm going to do now is, if you wanted to sort of rather than doing this manually like this, another way to do it is to automate it. I'm going to, by just doing a simple Facebook boosted post. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to log out of this account because hang on here. And I'm going to log into my other account because I've got my Facebook, and I'm sure there's a lot of people in this boat have had their Facebook accounts shut down. So this is what I have to set up another one for my advertising. So
it's like being a 3-striker, right? You go to jail 3 times and
exactly.
Throw you in for life.
Okay, so basically what we do is I'll go over to my page. Sorry about this.
Is this a page or a profile?
Yeah, you can only boost things from your actual page, your fan page. Right. You can't. You just don't have the opportunity to do it on your profile. It's just the way Facebook works. So essentially, they deem your fan page to be there for business, whereas your personal profile, they don't like you doing business from it, so that you literally can't boost a post or advertise on it. Right. So there's certain things you've got to remember, though, that with you, and that I suggest going through reading Facebook's terms and conditions. Like for any ad you do, you can't have any wording can't take up more than 20% of the image area on your on the face of your image. So that's just one of the things that you've got to be aware of. So like none of these posts here I would be able to advertise on because there's too many words. It's more than 20%, and they literally wouldn't approve the post. Now chances are I might get away with this one. So just for these purposes, we'll use this ad and just see if we can. So this is just an ad where it's for a giveaway of a training on how to use stories to sell. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to click on boost the post. And this is the simplest way to do an ad. And all you can do here, it's going to give you an option here with choosing the audience that you want to see the actual ad. It can be people who like your fan page, or people who like your page and their friends, or people you're going to choose through targeting. And I suggest you use people, unless you've got a whole bunch of fans that you want to advertise through, and so you've got a page set up specifically for your niche, then you would go with this first option. And that's ideally where you want to get to the point that you've got enough fans that you can advertise to them consistently, because that way you're not going to run into any issues of people not liking your page, or not wanting to see your ads, because again, we've got to remember, this is social media. This is not a business platform. People don't come here to Facebook to buy things. So we've got to be very conscious of how we set up our ads. It's got to be entertaining, such eye-catching, and not in-your-face selling. So we're going to go through targeting. So now, normally, again, we need to find someone, a profile person that that you can find that basically has enough fans on their pages, or something in common. So for example, if we're a real estate agent, we can look for someone like Robert Kiyosaki. There will be big names in any industry that people are aware of. So if it's your niche, if it's an insurance niche, there'll be people that are high profile. They'll either be within a company. You might even look for certain companies have their own fan pages, so you could look for that. AMI or AIG, that type of thing. Let's see. So we'll do that if we were going to be an insurance agent, for example. And so all we're going to do is we're going to edit the audience here, and you get to, when you edit the audience, you get to name whatever the audience is going to be. So for this one, well, I was going to say, I mentioned I was going to do it for insurance, but I'll do it because of the actual ad itself wouldn't mean anything. So because I'm setting it up, so I'll do it for, this is for network marketers. So I'm going to choose Eric Worre, and I'll just this is just titling my ad, and then I'm going to just do it for the United States. Now you can go into a whole bunch of countries, but what I've learned is that you want to keep everything just a one of each, because otherwise you won't know. For example, if I put United States, Canada, Australia, New Zealand, which I could do, but then if people start interacting with it, I don't know which country they're coming from. So I could be, they might all just be coming from one of those places, and I could just be wasting money advertising in the others. But if I set up a separate ad for each of those countries, then I could see the actual rates of interaction with each of those countries, if that makes sense. So I'll just leave it at United States. And again, here I'm choosing people between 45 and 65, because that's purely because that's who I would relate with. I don't want to choose younger people than that, because they're not in my personal demographic. I want to have people that I can talk to and have something in common with. So in that baby boomer type range. And then for interests, this is where I say I'm going to put in Eric Worre. And then, so I will just select one interest. So now again, this is where you would put in, if you're like a real estate agent, you could put Robert Kiyosaki or some profile, or even some real estate company. Now there are ways of going into the ads manager and the power editor, which is a whole lot more complicated, and where you can get much more targeted. You can select down to regions and everything like that, but I don't have time to get into that today. So we'll just save that, and then the next step is to choose your budget. So you can again do it for a total budget, and then split it over 1 day, 2 days, or if you want to, you can go into choose it for the month or whatever. So we'll just do it for today, and I'm just going to put it for $5. So you can I think the minimum is that you can do it as $1 a day, but you can still see that's going to be between 420 and 1,100 people that's going to see my ad each day for $5. So you can see the power behind that, and how where with the manual method before, how we're only contacting or get about 10. These are you're getting in front of that a whole lot more people. But the power of going through and doing it the manual way is that those people will come and check you out. So they actually they realize you're a real person, whereas this is hit and miss, whether people are going to interact with you or not.
Right. And are you sending them then to a capture page?
Yeah, that link there, on, if you can see that there, will take them to a capture page.
Right.
Can you see where I'm hovering over there?
Yep, that's brilliant. I think that's brilliant.
Yeah. So then now I'm going to. You can also, this is another training too, but if you can choose a pixel. Now this pixel, I'm going to use my default pixel. That means I've got a little tracking pixel, so that everyone that comes onto this ad and just even looks at it, doesn't have to opt in, they're going to be cookied with that pixel. So now I'll build an audience of everyone that looked on it. So at least know they've got some sort of interest in this ad, even though they didn't click on it. And then I can actually set up another ad and just target that audience of people who actually looked at it. So I can create an ad, say, hey, I know you're interested in, and they're going to, well, how did he know that? And literally that ad will follow them around. So I can literally speak to them like I know they went on that ad. And I say, oh, I know you were interested in that storytelling, facts tell and stories sell. You probably didn't have time to look at it, but I really think it's going to help you. And worded something like that. And the people, it's the huge power in that. So, and then it's just going to choose my payment method, and then all I'm going to do then is click boost, and it's as simple as that. It's going to go through, and it says they've received my order, and they're going to review it, make sure that I haven't violated anything. Now the only thing they might say that I've got too much text in here, which is hard to believe. 20% of the image area is not a lot, and there's actually a grid you can that Facebook. And again, I can share the link where you can actually go and test your image to make sure that it doesn't violate that, because you don't want to get shut down, because it's a pain. Otherwise, you have to have 2 accounts like I do here. So there's, as I say, there's the advertising policy. But that's simple as that. That's now the ad's gone off to be vetted, and we can see it tells me here that I've boosted it for $5 a day, and I'll get an email saying yes, my ad was approved, and it'll go. Otherwise, it'll just no, it won't. They'll tell me it's been it wasn't approved, and it'll tell me the reason why it wasn't, and then you can go ahead and fix it. But another trick that I have learned is that delete the ad and start again. You don't want to have in your Facebook ads history, which you can find in your ads manager. Let me show you here. If we go on the left hand side here, you'll see it's got the ads manager. You just click on that and it'll bring up your ads where you can see all the stats of how your ads performing. And so there's the ad that we just set up. It's pending review, but if
how you got to the ads manager? Can you just go that real quick one more time? How you got to the ads manager?
Sure, absolutely. So all I did was, if you just go to your main feed, so if I just click on home, and it'll bring you to your main feed. So if you're up home up the top here in the main menu bar, just click that, and then it'll bring up everything down the left hand side here, and it's got if you just scroll down here, and then you'll just see here it says ads manager on the left there. So it's just a matter of clicking on that, and it'll take you through there. And that, so now I can come in here and just monitor the ad, see how it's running. If you've got an ad, you can stop it. If I wanted to pause it, I just click on this little blue button over here, and that'll pause it. If I want to actually if I click on that blue link there, it'll show me the ad up in this top left hand corner here, and if I want to edit it in any way, there's a little edit button. If you can see that here, where I hover, it says edit. So if I click on that, and it'll just basically show me the ad, and again go through there's the link that it's for. We've got a lifetime budget of $5. That's the image. So we'll just cancel because I don't want to make any changes. But then what it'll do, it'll show the interaction. So it'll show me how many people it's reached, the cost per click, because that's what we're going for here. And it'll give me the amount spent during the day. So if I think, I might go through the day and I've had no interaction, I think, I'm just going to stop it. It's not worth going anymore, because each click's going to cost me too much. I can just pause the ad over here, and you won't get charged anymore. So that's a real simple overview of how to do a boosted post. So quite simple, really. I'll just quickly go back through again. And again, you can only do it from your actual fan page, right, not from your personal profile. So it's just a matter of going through to the post. So you basically just create a post as if you any normal post. You have your text. We'll just go find the one we just did. So yeah, we just created a post with I always put a link. This goes to a link to a capture page, and I put it at the top and at the bottom. I just put a bit of text in the middle, basically something that I hopefully is going to attract them to click on the link, and an image that sort of is congruent with the message over here, because that's the whole idea. You want to get people to interact and click on your link. So just to show you once they click through, you want to have your message wherever you're taking them to be congruent with your message here, because so when I click here, it's going to go through to learn how stay-at-home mum and serial storyteller makes money online. So it's very congruent. They wanted to learn about storytelling, stories that facts tell, stories sell. So when they go to the page, they go, yes, I'm in the right place. I haven't gone to something completely different, because then they're just not going to click through. And Facebook doesn't like that either. They can check all this stuff out, and they won't like it if they call it lead baiting, offering something and taking them to somewhere completely different. Right, so you got to make sure that you do that. But basically that's all I do. And then once I've created the ad, then I go and then just click at the bottom here because we've already clicked it, it's boosted. But if you see up above, it'll just say boost post, and it'll take you through to that page where we went through and selected our audience and set up the ad, and yeah, we're away. So it's really that simple.
That's awesome, Clive. Thank you so much for showing it. This makes it so simple. That's wonderful.
No worries. I just clicked my stop sharing button, so hopefully I'll come back to you now.
You're back. Well, thanks so much. That was a wealth of information in such a short period of time. I really appreciate you coming in today and sharing all of that stuff. That's cool.
Yeah. So I don't know if there was any questions that came through, or did you notice any?
I don't see any questions over there. But I'm sure if anybody does, they can just get a hold of you or just send them over to me, and I'll make sure that you can receive those things. But Clive, thank you so much for coming in today. I really appreciate that. You're gonna have to come back again sometime. I mean, sometime real soon, and keep us updated, because you've been going through all this process, and it's so cool to learn from people like you who are just sharing these great tips and stuff like that. So thank you so much for coming in today.
Yeah, no problem at all. My pleasure. And as I say, hopefully people can follow. If anyone's welcome, if they have any questions, I'd be happy to answer them. And if they've got specific questions, if I can, I certainly will. I appreciate the offer, and I'd be happy to come back anytime that you want me to.
That's great. Now, tomorrow we're having a great show. I have you know Mycle Brandy, right?
Oh yeah, he's one of my heroes too. Yeah, he's awesome.
He's cool, and I asked him, what do you want to talk about? He said, anything you want to talk about. How he is. He's just like an open book. So come in tomorrow and fire some questions up there. Let's put him on the hot seat tomorrow.
Yeah, I've actually been just working through some of his stuff and implementing it for the last couple of weeks. I'm having some amazing results on Twitter with that. So that really? he is. I can strongly encourage everyone to come along, because Mark he's amazing. I mean, he's generating between 100 and 300 leads a day.
Wow.
So
wow.
And without any advertising. So come along, because he's going to be awesome.
I can't wait for. I mean, this today went longer. We usually shut it off right at the hour mark.
I see that. Sorry about that.
But that's no problem. I know tomorrow's going to probably be like that as well. But that's so cool. That's why we have to have you back on. And tomorrow's going to be an amazing day with him as well. So make sure you tell people to come in and get a dose of him. I've seen him around before, but I seen him on the Friday Night Live show with Jackson and Christi Kelly.
Right.
He went on, he had a whole hour right there, so you can get a whole bunch more. But he's just a really interesting character, as you are, Clive. I mean, thank you so much for brightening my day and starting the week off right. That's cool.
Cool. No, as I say, I'm flattered and honored to be here, and hopefully people got some value from that.
I certainly did. I've been taking a lot of notes here and stuff like that. So thanks. I appreciate that.
Cool. No problem.
Okay, well, thanks everybody for coming. And so, Walter, have a tremendous week today. Today's gate, as Dr. Doug Fireball would say, today's gateway day. Today's the first day of the week. So go out there and crush it today. So thanks a lot, guys. We'll talk to you tomorrow for Mycle Brandy.
Thanks, everyone.
Okay, bye-bye.